Ahoy, landlubbers, it's me, your Captain Vasco speaking. Boy, am I tired. I did not get very much sleep after last night's 5-hour conclusion to Little Nightmares 2. And I'd say like a good hour and a half of that was just trying to make long jumps work. I'm not good at video games. This is why I play visual novels. And yet, Ghost Trick has come with its own challenges. I am excited to, at this point, pretty sure we'll actually finish it tonight, but like, I don't know. We'll find out together. So what happened last week on Ghost Trick? Well, I think we only finished 2 chapters. So what were they precisely? I mean, one of them was trying to rescue Inspector Cabanela and the pigeon guy from the manipulator, the character we formerly had referred to as our own body, that of Sissel, the guy in red. But it turns out like that guy's like his own evil ghost or something. I don't think that's us. But so like he showed up to pressure Cabanela into having his demands met, which he apparently, Evil Sissel was the one responsible for like the blackmail of the Justice Minister and like trying to get Detective Jowd executed, because he was like one of the only people who had sort of like evidence that he is an evil ghost who has continued to like alter history or whatever. Oh, that's right. The other thing we did was at Temsig Park. Man, I did a bad job at Temsig Park last week. So like, Lynn called us to let us know that while she was looking for said evidence of the manipulator's existence in the form of an antique firearm that had been responsible for Detective Jowd's death, but like held evidence that it had been unnaturally manipulated. He had sealed that in like a locked music box, and someone was supposed to deliver that to Lynn tonight, but when she went to go look for it, she found like a dead person and no evidence. So we returned to the past, re-alived that person, and retrieved the evidence. So we went from 1 corpse and 0 evidence to 0 corpse and 1 evidence, for those of you keeping score at home. So I think Lynn managed to get that all the way back to the Minister of Justice, or whatever his precise title was. And so now, like, Detective Jowd's got, like, a stay of execution until at least tomorrow. And I think he headed off with some intention in mind that I don't think he made explicitly clear to us. And we're now on the hunt for the like, evil, like, head of state from whatever country all these blue assassin folk are coming from, because they're in league with Evil Sissel, and they're still trying to, I mean, they kidnapped Camilla, who is the owner of Missile, who is the bestest boy, a dog who is, for the second time tonight, a ghost, but he has obtained mysterious powers of the dead because of his proximity to a meteorite that we learned something about last week. The meteorite was actually responsible for the death of the person who tried to kidnap Lynn 5 years ago. There's like a whole lot with meteorites, ghost powers, and stuff. For some of that nuance, I do recommend you just watch the stream in full, if you're interested. You're right, the tiny Drifloons do kind of look like big weird eyebrows on Togepi, which is impressive because Togepi is in and of himself a very big boy. So, I mean, I think that covers most of it. I forget precisely what the next step in our order of operations was, but I think our plan had been to try and locate the submarine that we now know the evil nation to be approaching our country on. And they were planning on taking Evil Sissel out of the country so no one would ever hear from him again, but he would still continue to do evil things or whatever. So with all that being said, we go. It's time for Ghost Trick. One thing that did happen at the end of last stream is that we did unlock a new fun side plate, or whatever it's called. Basically, this game was made for the DS and not for like a 16 by 9 aspect ratio, so it gives you fun customizable edge panels. And we changed those from a fun, vague green color into... Now we'll do the auto save? It's a little earlier? I don't know if we saved after. Now it's unconscious Sissel with his butt in the air. Isn't that fun? Aren't we enjoying that? Lynn kept her promise about getting me hooked up. I was outdecked totally in casual fashion. About 2 hours before dawn, the phone rang. This pigeon guy. Hello? This is Zhao. Sissel, are you listening? We need your powers. Maybe you could say please? I don't know, that just seems like a rude way to call someone. It sounds like it's... I should have been paying attention. It told me exactly what time it was. It's like 4:20 in the morning or something. Blaze it, why don't you? No time to talk. We'll be waiting for you. Yeah, right? They're just using us. It's so rude. They're not such good friends. Control room. Spotlight. Soliloquy time. Well, you'd better get going. This long night is drawing to an end. Yeah, it looks like it. Thank you for all your help tonight, Pigeon Man. I'm the one who should be thanking you! At the other end of the phone line, I'm finally gonna find all my answers. I'd better go. A single telephone line connects me and the other Sissel. But that single line spreads out like a spider's web to ensnare the fates of many people. How very dramatic in Japanese. And I just reached the center of the web. Charlotte's web. No, that's something else. Yeah, I'd say there's actually only like couple of major things I remember from this point onward in the game, so let's find out together most of the rest of the stuff. Welcome to the Yanoa. Detective Jowd. Wait, who's talking? Ah, it's this guy. My detective sense must have gotten rusty. Didn't even sense your presence here in the dark. It's because I switched the power to my mask off, Detective Jowd. I used your phone. Hope you don't mind. Egad! Never thought you'd track us here, especially seeing as you're a death row inmate. And I'm equally surprised about your choice of transportation. A submarine, eh? But how did you find us, my man? Not even the police knew where the Yanoa was going to the surface, confound it! We detectives have a little say. If there's something you want to know about a case, ask the criminals. Yeah, I remember this cutscene. I saw it roughly 10,000 times. The bullet the man in red was shot with had a radio transmitter in it. I have a little something for you. A pocket watch. A pocket watch. A pocket watch. A pocket watch. Or is it? Cabanela has given me some pretty weird presents in the past, but they always prove useful. This one was a radio receiver, made to look like a pocket watch. A pocket watch. A pocket watch. Nope, sorry. Yes, Inspector Cabanela. I hear he's an excellent investigator. By the way, where is that man in red? I know he's on this submarine somewhere. Ah, Sissel, you mean? I love that this man just gets one animation he uses for everything. Ah, well, okay. You can relax. That's nothing but his shell. Are you saying there's normally a ghost in the shell? His shell, eh?
His spirit isn't here right now. Most likely, right about now. He's controlling your daughter.
Nani? I'm kind of surprised he didn't slam the desk. Please, I beg you, let my daughter go. If you need a hostage, take me. Just please let her go.
Bah! Humbug even. There's something our nation needs, and Sissel has it. That's all we care about, my man. Nothing else matters. However, it would appear Sissel has underestimated us. He's left behind his precious bargaining chip here.
Bargaining chip? That looked like that went straight someplace I didn't want that to go.
Our nation has already researched it. This product that Sissel has to offer. The source of his powers.
God, it's even a probe. That's so uncomfortable.
Yikes forever.
Thanks forever, man. You should really ask consent before basically anything that just happened. I think was a pretty good response to that. What? What in the world was that?
The Timsic fragment. It gives spirits special powers. And now our deal with Sissel is concluded as far as we're concerned.
What are you talking about?
Tisk, tisk, tisk. What a mistake to make right at the most critical moment. Now then, Detective Jowd. We're gonna stick something weird in your trench coat.
Does this game have the same composer as the Phoenix Wright games? I probably should have looked this up at some point. What in the world? The whole room just vanished. Detective Jowd! Where did he go? That sounds not good. What now? I think I heard an explosion somewhere. In any case, Lynn and the little lady should be here somewhere. I smell danger. Oh wait, I'm a ghost. Skull joke. I better find them, and fast. How did the blue guys end up with Sissel's body? I mean, I think they implied that, like, last week we learned that Bad Sissel was working with the Blue Man group. And so, like, I think they basically just implied that, like, Sissel came here because they're in cahoots, and then he, like, sent his ghost somewhere to, like, do something. And then they were like, aha, idiot. Got your nose. And by nose, I mean, like, meteor fragment. Who'd that be? So you're here, huh? It's Missile! I like that as a dog. I actually feel like this is literally meant to represent, like, a dog excitedly barking to greet you when you show up. It's just like the translation is like, I'm Missile! Do you remember me? I'm Missile the dog! Yes, I think even I remember who you are by now. What do you suppose that shock was a minute ago? You really think the dog has a better answer to this than you do? I have no idea because I am a dog! I'm just a little sheltered apartment dog at that. What with my loss of memory, I can't say I'm much better. Anyway, let's hurry up and go save Miss Lynn and Miss Camilla! You think that trusty nose of yours can sniff them out? I'm sorry to say, I don't think it can! Why did I even bother to ask? But you do have the power to swap objects. So let's go find that lady detective and the little lady together. You got it! Ring, 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 phone call, phone call. The telephone is ringing. Wow! It's Miss Camilla, I just know it! My trusty's nose is practically screaming it at me! Wait, didn't you just say that wouldn't work? And also, I don't think phones have a smell component. Unless phones in this universe were designed by Professor Farnsworth, who made the smelloscope. I'm really impressed that the latest Hulu season managed to come up with, like, a new joke for exactly, precisely the smelloscope. Like, props. Seriously. Also, not the same composer. That's interesting. I can definitely believe that it's different composers between this and Phoenix Wright, but like both of those games, they go really hard with the music, man. I think that's more of what you would call a hunch. But anyway, let's get to the phone before it stops ringing. You bet! Time is passing. I mean, trick time is passing. Let's, Why are there so many balls in the world with... Alright, he doesn't move when he does that. It's just like two functionally identical basketballs. Hello? Hello? Miss Camilla? Hello? It's no use! This black hello just doesn't like me! Just create a path for me, Missile. I'll come right over. Okay, so like what? So you can get to there. This does not have a trick listed. And... Is this down here? Waste basket. Okay. You go on the phone, go in there, and then you swap those so that the baseball goes up. I think I just heard another little explosion in the distance. Got a bad feeling about this. Sissel, look! That black hello, it came off the hook! I love that they do such a good job writing Missile. I mean, he's so good. But, like, I love... I mean, like, the fact that every time he shows up, he's like, it's me, Missile the dog! Like, they just get it. But then I love that, like, even though... I mean, he hasn't been around at phones as much as we have during the course of this game, but I love that he's like, it's the hello, you know? The humans, they talk to it and they say hello. It's the hello! What would I rate the latest season of Futurama? It's tough. I'd probably give it like a 7.5 maybe on average. Like, there's a couple episodes I really like. A lot of the episodes are like good, and there's some that I just like really like. Offend is a strong word, but it just feels like this is exactly the sort of stuff I was like worried would happen if you did like a new season. Yeah, kind of like mid-revival. I mean, I haven't seen a ton of that era, to be honest with you. But I've seen a couple of those episodes, and it felt like largely on par with those, maybe a little better than the average of what I had seen. Uh-oh, I better answer it fast. It'd be a lot easier to do that if you didn't take away control and leave me wondering, like, where I just was. Hello? Is anybody there? It's her, the little lady. It's Sissel. Where are you? Somebody please answer me. I guess she can't hear my voice. You too, huh? Oh, good. I thought she was ignoring me. Somebody help me. Lynn is... Dead again? Miss Lynn! We'd better hurry. Let's go, Sissel. Go there. Go to there. It's no use. Nobody's answering. Did she drown in this room? There's lots of problems with that. Miss Camilla! And... Miss Lynn! Oh, poor Miss Lynn. Yeah, she can't seem to catch a break. Looks like another tragedy has happened. Sorry to keep you waiting, little lady. Sissy, I knew you'd come. Miss Camilla! Miss Camilla! And Missile, too. I'm so glad to see you're all right. Well, I mean, if he's here, he's kind of not all right, to be honest with you. Here's, like, a weird thing you kind of have to keep in mind, too. So, like, assuming that when all is said and done, we, like, save Missile so that he can be the goodest boy alive again. then, like, the whole rest of time, Camilla has to live with a dog that she knows has, like, a sentient consciousness and, like, not be able to communicate with it. Or maybe somehow he would retain that ability? I don't know. These ghost powers are kind of tricky, huh? Well, I wouldn't say I'm all right exactly, but I am taking it pretty well. Arrested Development, anyone? No, never mind.
Hey, wait a minute. Missile, your voice. I think I remember hearing it somewhere before.
What? My voice? That's right. Camilla has a core now, so that means... she did hear Missile's voice before, when he saved her that time.
So that was you, wasn't it, Missile? You're the one who saved me in the park tonight. Thank you.
Miss Camilla, I'm so glad I was born your little doggy. Oh my god, this dog. I love this character so much. Like, I'm not a huge animal guy, but, like, Missile has always just, like, slayed me. He's just the best. He's so good. Hey, Missile, could you stay here and watch over your mistress for a while? Huh? But don't you need my powers? Let's see what I can do on my own for a little while. After all, you're the only one who can protect her. Okay, I'll do it.
Thank you, Missile.
Trick time. Oh, you're gonna talk to me, or I'm gonna talk to myself or something? Wonder what happened this time. I'd better talk to the little lady a little more, and then I'd better do something about the detective lady. She has a name, you know. Can I talk to you a minute?
Yes, Sissy?
Could you tell me what happened to you? Could you tell me, like, your whole deal or whatever? Missile is too pure a being to be a ghost. Feels bad, man. Well, Alcadius, I mean, at the same time, isn't it kind of reassuring that such a powerful good spirit could just, like, linger and look after people like such a good boy? I mean, I feel like you should get to live a good long life, but nobody lives forever except for, like, liches. Can you tell me what happened to you? Yeah, we don't really... there's kind of a big gap. The last time we saw her, she just got locked in this almost friendly trunk. What happened after I last saw you at your old house?
Well, let's see. After that, I think I fell asleep. Like a bird, when it got dark, I kind of just blacked out. I woke up to the sound of an engine.
So, she was already in the submarine by then, eh?
I thought to myself, I have escaped. I have to escape. The next thing I knew, I found myself in this big room. I was so tired I couldn't move. And then... Camilla!
Yeah, but how can you get dog treats as a ghost? I mean, there's gotta be like a Scooby Snack equivalent for ghosts, right? There's something kind of like that in, like, recent One Piece that's really weird.
I was so relieved. I don't remember what happened after that.
She must have passed out, the poor thing. You've been through so much. You were very brave.
I think Lynn's probably been through more than me.
You've both been brave. Alright, I'm gonna go... oh, let me turn the wheel real quick. Oh, Sissel, you're here! Lynn, what in the world happened this time? I don't know. Huh? I just sort of blacked out all of a sudden. Next thing I know, I was dead! Yeah, I guess you wouldn't know in that case. And where's Detective Jowd? Is he alright? I don't know. Huh? Well, the room he was in just disappeared all of a sudden? Now it's making even less sense than before. After we left the super's office, we followed after the man in red. We tracked him with that radio transmitter Inspector Cabanella fired into him with a bullet. The man in red took a boat out to sea from a small harbor on the edge of town. Detective Jowd and I managed to secretly stow away on his boat. Shh, secret stowaway. And then we sneaked onto the submarine with him when it surfaced. Before long, the submarine dove back down again. Detective Jowd and I decided to split up. He would take care of the telephone line, and I would look for Camilla. I found Camilla hiding here in the engine room. She had escaped and had run away here. Wow, that's quite an adventure. What happened next? I don't know. Huh? There was a flash of white all of a sudden. Next thing I know, I was dead. Oh boy, sounds like it'd be quicker to see for myself. You know what time it is. It's past time. Return to the past time. Camilla, are you okay? Oh, dang. Camilla? Hello, Lynn. Or is it Detective now? It's been 10 years since we last met. Nani? Are you? Are you really that man from the park 10 years ago? Well, well. I see there's no need to introduce myself. Give Camilla back. She has nothing to do with any of this. Afraid I can't do that. This is my last chance. The telephone is ringing. It's not for me. Nobody ever calls the dead. I would actually beg to differ. In this world, people frequently call the dead. At least from my experience. Oh, well that's horrible. The fact that you're here means that my revenge plan has failed. Revenge plan? It didn't happen tonight, did it? His execution. Well, knowing him, I half expected as much. That's why I was waiting here. Like this, waiting for him to show up. Wouldn't it be just what he wanted? To be executed by his own daughter? I feel like no. I heard about 10 years ago. I feel sorry about what happened to you. But revenge? Nobody could possibly know what I... What in the world? An explosion? Uh-oh. I've got a bad feeling about this. Have I been had? Look out! What's weird is she described a white flash, and I don't feel like we saw that in that vision. Yeah, man, it's pretty grim, right? Like, this game's not messing around. Revenge, huh? That's a feeling I just can't understand. Much like parents. Of course not. You're not him. She's right. I'm not him, am I? He was going to shoot Detective Jowd as Camilla when he came to rescue her. It's just too horrible. Anyway, let's bring you back to life. Again. You didn't have to add the again part. I mean, if you could stop dying for, like, 10 minutes. Trick time! So let's see, the cause of death this time was that mysterious explosion! You're pretty up for a dead woman. You know how detectives love a good mystery? It's like a shot of vitamins. And what do you mean for a dead woman? Anyway, I guess we should look for a way to stop that explosion. Alright, let's do this thing! Finding clues is like a dose of minerals to a detective. I'm afraid with my memory loss, I have no idea what vitamins or minerals are. Alright, there's my soul. A little bit stuck at the moment, so I guess we're just gonna have to wait for time to pass. Maybe the gun? Maybe when the gun swings? Maybe we have to wait for the gun to raise? I mean, I presume what we're trying to do is connect to the phone. I can't quite remember the nuance of whether... Like, I know you can't, like, manually travel through telephone lines to wherever you want when you return to the past. But, like, If there's an active phone call, but no one in the past picked it up, can we go through the line? I don't happen to recall. So let's wait for the gun to move, I guess. We're still kind of stuck at the moment. Why? Oh no, this is just the active dialogue. Phone is ringing. Give me control, trick time. That's funny. I thought I could use the phone in the past if somebody was calling. What are you talking about? The receiver has to be off the hook first, silly. Well, don't look at me. I can't do it. I don't have any hands or feet right now. Skull joke. Somebody please answer the phone. If you want something done, you have to do it yourself. Oh. Hey, what do I have? I got the wheel. The wheel can presumably... What can I manipulate that would move the phone from the hook? Emergency light isn't it. We have multiple wheels that we can turn. What does this do? Ah! That was actually easier than I expected. Hey, we somehow managed to knock down the receiver. This is actually like a weird twist on the telephone pass restriction. Like again, I'm guessing by the fact that they felt the need to clarify, we haven't actually had the specific situation where like a phone rang and no one answered it. But like, as long as we can complete the connection, even though we're revisiting the past, we can still use it. It's kind of a weird, like, edge case. Somehow managed. Who's to say that's not how I planned it? Come on, hurry. Now's your chance to get the phone. It might be Jowd. She's right. I better check it out. Hello. Anybody there? If anybody's there, get yourself here on the double. We're about to head out. Speak up. Why don't you answer? Anyway, come if you're coming. We're leaving. Okay. Doesn't seem like there's a lot I can do in that room. We're trying to stop the explosion. So it must be true what they say. That there are restless ghosts on board. Updated phone book. It does it. I promise to turn over a new leaf, Mom. Who's he calling restless ghosts? Well, it's true neither one of us is really resting in peace. Anyway, it looks like the sub just lost one of its crew. I guess that means the fate of this sub has changed slightly. Which in turn means that this is a checkpoint for those of you playing along at home. Fate changed!
Sissel has underestimated us. He's left behind his precious bargaining chip.
Blah, blah, blah. Yoink! Yikes. It's not alarming any time. How are they able to see him from there? I don't know. Ghost rules are weird. It's Detective Jowd. What's going on there? I saw this little deal go down once before. In just a moment, the man in red is about to get his Temsic fragment taken away. Trick time. Goodness gracious, I have no idea what we're doing now. I got some switches I can lower. I got a valve. Interesting. Open the basket? I don't get it. What's happening? They decided to conclude the deal without the other party present. They're just gonna go ahead and steal the Temsic fragment. Huh? But that's cheating! I think we have more important things to think about right now. Where's the Temsic fragment going to go? Okay, hold on. Let me try something. Okay, I did manage to have a window to bounce. But now what? Did I trap myself here? I might have trapped myself here. anything change at some point? Oh, maybe when that comes down? Almost. It looks like it's gonna... There we go. Well, I guess here's the question. What am I actually trying to do right now? It feels like I want to get up there. Does the phone come back up? I mean, there's no trick associated with the capsule. Let me stay in the phone and see if it moves back up there. I don't remember. Like, it doesn't seem like there's, other than... I guess I could have followed the capsule. And that would have let me get in the submarine? Yeah, it's starting to feel like that's what I was supposed to be doing, huh?
The objective has been achieved. Now, detach the room as planned.
Yes, sir. Farewell, sir. Sizzle, what just happened? The whole room disappeared with Detective Jowd in it. Don't worry, Lynn. I bet Detective Jowd can take care of himself. The main thing right now is rescuing you and the little lady. I can't believe this is happening.
Now then, I'd better hurry along before Sizzle discovers what he lost and comes after me. The Anoa will be his coffin. May it lie buried here forever in the deep sea. Farewell, Sizzle.
Now the final cut. Look at all the dudes in the submarine, by the way. Like, the escape pod is just, like, crammed with dudes. It's really funny. I mean, like, maybe you just make more than one way to get off the submarine, but, like, that is a solution as well. So that's the cause of the giant explosion. What is? Don't tell me that's another thing you've forgotten. The torpedo. It's like, we've heard of a missile before, haven't you? Yeah, I know Missile. He's a little dog. A different missile comes to mind a little more readily. It looks like he plans to sink the submarine with that thing. This is not good. We have to do something before the torpedo is fired. Yeah, but I overcommitted to trying to get into that room. So we're gonna have to go back again. After the fate change. These things move pretty quickly at this point. The thing I was getting frustrated with last time is, like, there were so many, like, segments where... God, every time it's upsetting. There were just, like, so many segments where you just have to wait an incredibly long time before you could start, like, doing anything. So, like, if you didn't figure out your goal, like, immediately, then you'd waste so much time. Time is passing. Let me just get in that capsule real quick.
Blah, blah, blah.
It's rubbing it on his face. Is that safe?
Blah, 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 blah.
Blah, 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 blah.
Boop. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah.
Okay, I love you. Bye-bye. Ba-ba-ba. Ba-ba-ba. Ba-ba. Ba-ba-ba. Yeah, we just had, like, that entire conversation in the past. Not like a lot. Can't let it launch. What can we do? Let's get to the torpedo as fast as we can, and maybe we can find a way to stop it. Somehow? True Detective never gives up. Yeah, I can't say I've actually finished either season of True Detective. I don't know if that's true. You certainly can't ignore it. Oh, weird. I was not expecting that lever to just, like, put me directly into the torpedo. But yeah, I guess that could happen. That might as well happen. There's no time! It's gonna launch! Don't worry, we can still find a way to stop it. What? How? Even if the torpedo does launch, we just have to stop it from detonating, right? There's still something we could do. I hope. Why was the I hope at the end the strongest part of that sentence? Okay, here goes. I love that super close up. What's happening? Why is this a rodent-powered torpedo? I came along for the ride without giving it too much thought. But was this really the best move? I think so. We just have to keep it from going off, right? Yeah, the poor rats in this game, right? Can I get a squeak squeak in chat? I'm sure this poor little rat will thank us too. I mean, if we don't drown it, maybe. We did light the last one on fire.
Squeak, squeak.
Thank you very much. How in the world did it get in here? Such a good question. That's such a good question. So I can operate joint. The striker touches the button. I think these outside parts are supposed to be weights of some sort. Spinning black things, yeah? Apparently their spinning helps the torpedo maintain its balance. They must be pretty heavy. I wonder if we can use these weights to our advantage somehow. Stop it. Do you know how a torpedo works? No, I can't say I do. Wow, detectives sure know a lot. Oh, hey Sarah, welcome to the stream. We're in a torpedo with a mouse. It's a mouse-powered torpedo. Any questions? I saw it explained once in a book. On impact, the fuse in the tip is depressed. Man, I don't need a fuse to be depressed. That in turn sets off the detonator. The detonator, huh? That must be the red button. So how do we stop it? They didn't explain anything about that in the book. Wow, detectives sure know a lot. Well, maybe not. I stopped them on the same side. I feel like that'll throw it off balance. Great, we've dumped the little creature off. Is that what we wanted, though? Wow, those weights were heavy enough to turn the whole torpedo over. Now for that safety device. Right. There, we clamped the safety device on. We did it! That should keep the torpedo from exploding! There's just one problem. Problem? What's that? The torpedo is still going to impact. We can't do anything about that. Uh-oh. I mean, that doesn't look great, but that could be worse. What was that noise? Looks like the torpedo still hit the submarine. But it looks like the submarine is still okay. Maybe that means the mouse will be able to get some air and not drown. This changes everybody's fate, including the little rats. Sissel, we did it! Fate averted. What's the matter? You still look unhappy. We stopped the torpedo from blowing up, but we still opened up a gaping hole in the submarine. You're right. I guess that's just what missiles do. They're unstoppable. Oh, someone else? Am I hearing things? Anyway, I guess we'd better get back to the present as quickly as we can. Right, I'm worried about Camilla. Although I'm not entirely sure that's how time travel works. Do we have to, like, return to the present super fast? Because it's like time travel or whatever. Tick-tock, tick-tock. We managed to stop death for now, but it hasn't disappeared altogether. It's now slowly but surely filling the room. Uh-oh. Water's seeping in through the hole where the torpedo hit. Gotta get them out of here. I better go meet up with Lynn. Do I have any... Can I let the mouse out? Okay, well, I'm just gonna trust he's safe then. So let's see. Well, I guess we'll call them poplars as operating the starter seems to be the only thing we can do right now. The lights went out, but this machine apparently still works. Unfortunately, I guess it won't run for very long. Maybe I can use its movements to help me create a path. I mean, it would be helpful if you didn't take away control. Hurry over to Lynn. It's not safe to stay here, and I don't have the power to stop the water. Does this thing have a... No, it doesn't. Whoop. Ooh. I'm guessing this goes up, right? Great. Oh, I didn't notice the red jump before impact. That's good. No, wait. You just mean when it fell off the button? Because it was still in the torpedo at that time. Like, it couldn't have gotten out of the torpedo. Pretty sure. Lynn! Camilla, you're awake! How do you feel? I'm so sorry. I'm sorry I pointed that gun at you. Don't worry about that. That wasn't you. Miss Camilla! Oh, Missile, you're here. Oh, poor Miss Camilla. Miss Lynn, what should we do? We have to get out of here before any more water comes in. Otherwise, we could get wet down there. Sissel should be along any second. I knew Sissy would come. And Missy is here too. He said he just... all I thought they said was, like when we got back onto this submarine, I think Lynn had said we changed we changed...
get wet down there.
Said we might have changed fate for the rat as well. But, like, did we actually see it get out? I feel like we didn't. I'm so happy everyone's going to be with me now. Yeah, but we're all drowning, so... There's that. I'm also glad that the sound alerts are still bringing people joy, especially the worst one. Camilla! Miss Camilla! I'll get you out of here. If it's the last thing I do! Oh, I think I'm going to cry. Or whimper, as the case may be. I better send a signal to Lynn that I'm here, before it's too late. What thing am I in? Oh, look at that flashlight. It's Sissel, he's here. Up you go. How old is Camilla? It probably says in my phone book, of all things. I'm glad you're here, Sissel. Sorry for the wait. Looks like this room is gonna fill with water fast. We better get out that door as quick as we can. We won't be getting out that door, I'm afraid. The water pressure is too great already. I can't open it. Nani? What does water pressure mean? Think of it as the force of the water holding the door closed. The water level keeps getting higher and higher in here. So the only way out is up, huh? Exactly. Okay, got it. Let's look for a path that goes up. Hey, look at that ladder. I wonder if we could get it down somehow. Good idea, let's try. Oh, and by the way, yeah? I can't swim and neither can Camilla. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, Katane. I'm not sure the only way out is up. I feel like the only way out is through. Did you have any good news for me? Let me think about it. In the meantime, could you please hurry and stop us from dying or whatever? Nope. I feel like I kind of need to go the other way. It doesn't seem like I can, like, up more from here. Am I wrong? Do I need to just... Ah. Glove. Okay, fuse box, hook. Big old... Wait, I could just open this entire door? There's a door here too, but it's stuck or something. I can't open it. I'll leave it to your superhuman strength, detective. Switch feels like it might relate to ladder. Ding! You did it, Sissel! Thanks! I don't envy her trying to, like, climb that ladder sideways while carrying a whole child. Eek! Like, OMG or whatever! What was that? It's like water seeping in isn't the only thing we have to worry about. There's also climate change, and the disappearing bees! Are you stressed? Sissel, the flashlight doesn't work anymore. Hey, don't get mad at me. Maybe the contacts are bad or something. Hey, I know. You can fix it with your powers. Okay, now that's just taking things too far. Fuse box. Nope, that's probably not it, huh? Thought maybe I would have access to fuses to turn on lights or something. Ding. Genuinely don't know why that would work. Oh, hey, great. Did you used to be, like, an electrician or something? That's a cruel question considering the circumstances. Now all we have to do is get to that door and we're safe. Eh? Wait, she just threw us away. They really are just using us, huh? It feels like this went sideways real quick. Oh, Camilla's okay. That looks awful. Like, that looked really bad. Oh. What happened now? Looks like the submarine decided to rear up on its hind legs. That's a weird way to say that. I can't believe we're still okay after that fall. It's really convenient to possess plot armor. Either way, we're really lucky. Or we're dead and haven't realized it yet. Come on now, as if the latter could be true. What now? The water sure is rising fast. Come on. We'll just have to go up to the top. Let's see how I can help with my ghost tricks, TM. Trick time. Well, I think I see a familiar flame over there. Next boyfriend? No, it's me, it's Missile! Sissel, there you are! How's it going? How's it going? I'd say it's going pretty badly. You do understand how dangerous this situation is, don't you? No, I'm a dog! Just ask anybody who knows me how much I hate taking a bath! Ah, never change, Missile. Maybe he's been in danger of drowning before himself. Okay, ready to create a path for these ladies? Of course! Trick time. Oh boy, I'm gonna have to possess a lot of knowledge. Hey, Pixie! Love the claw. How's it going tonight? Does the electric narwhal have hind legs? No, I would say it doesn't. In my vision of the electric narwhal, it does have a top section that folds down to resemble, like, a classic pirate ship sort of deck. With, like, a steampunk sort of extendable mast for if the engines break down. Big jump. So we could probably switch these fans around. I don't know why we would want that. This is actually a pretty cool conceit that, like, you mess around in the room a little bit and then, like, the room reorients and then you have to, like, consider a completely new way of thinking about the relationship between things. I saw something about Our Flag Means Death. When does it premiere? It didn't already start again, did it? It seems like it just came out of nowhere that people were talking about it again. Saturdays, huh? So soon. Well, we can switch this. Is that helpful? Small fan, large fan? What else can we change? Pipes. Emergency lights. They're such weird items. How far does that hook extend? This rightly feels like it's going to be a challenge. What is this? Shaft. I'm only talking about shaft. Alright, you go sit in that fan for a minute. What can I do? Literally nothing from here, huh? So what does that tell me? Episode 3 just wrapped? Well, I gotta tell you, that marketing sucks bad. Because, like, I would have been watching that immediately, and the only thing I'd heard about it until this moment was, like, someone, like, it sounded like, like an advanced critic review sort of being like, Season 2 seems like it's carrying on similar themes. And it, like, wasn't, like, it returns, or these episodes are great. It was just, like, a vague thing that was like, oh, so, like, there's a press blackout, and we can't say that it's good, or whatever. But yeah, I mean, not surprising that HBO doing a bad job with its streaming service. Because, you know, that's been going on for some time now. Alright, so it seems as though we're gonna have to start with Missile, but to be honest with you, I don't have any idea how to do that. I'm not seeing, like, similarly shaped things that feel relevant. I mean, we can switch big fan and small fan, which seems like a thing that I should do at some point. But I don't know what that does, since I can't get there yet. Actually, let me try something. Okay, I was gonna see if, like, having a big heavy thing on a small thing would cause it to fall down or something. Yeah, right? You'd think that of all the things you'd want to get out there as, like, HBO, you'd want, like, one of its most beloved shows of recent times to be well publicized. And I haven't seen so much as Sebastian the Crab about it. But, like, I hear nothing but talks of them, like, basically, like, sabotaging the, discussions with, like, SAG-AFTRA and garbage like that. It's like, maybe just, like, make a little bit of effort to not be, like, the straight up ghouls of like the entertainment world. I feel like it'll serve you pretty well to behave that way. Wow, I don't even know where to start, man. It feels like I want to get, like, Big Wheel down there, but I don't think I have the means to do that. I can flop pipes around, but, like, Missile can only swap objects, so I can't, like, drop glove. Or... feels like there must be something that's not obvious, that if I move it will like fall down and create a path for me. Because that circle has holes in it, it doesn't count as the same shape. You're gonna, like, throw the flashlight? Oh, okay. Apparently I was supposed to wait, like, 6 seconds and then I could do something. Alright, so now that I can move anywhere... And by anywhere, I don't mean Gretchen can go anywhere. What I mean is I have the ability to move someplace that isn't just the flashlight. What can we do? So I should be able to... operate the starter and move some stuff around. That's kind of obnoxious. Let's have... Yeah, let's have... This will stay there for a second, and then we... These pistons sticking out right in front of me. It's almost like they're taunting me. Maybe it's a challenge. It might be just that. Think you can climb them? If I wasn't holding Camilla, I could probably do it easily. Sissel, you're not telling Miss Lynn to leave poor Miss Camilla behind, are you? Could you just... Why would you say this? This is horrible. I'm not reading that. These pistons sure do look like they could be used to our advantage. Let's try a thing. So is this gonna make the small fan ones stay in so that she can sort of staircase up? It's like they're silently pressuring me to climb them. I doubt they're doing that, Miss Lynn. It's like how much the pistons thrust out is related to how large the fans are. My arms are full, but my legs are free. If you could just move these pistons so they're a little easier to climb, I think I could do it. Okay, in order to do that, we need 3 different sizes of fans. Okay. I didn't realize there were 3 different sizes of fans. Medium, small. And maneuvering around with 2 ghosts does continue to suck a little bit. So I need large fan. So let's leave small fan there for a minute. Right, that doesn't really work, huh? Oh, right. Large fan's the one I moved, huh? Okay. Forgot that was a large and not a medium. Swap. 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 So I think that's the order I want it, because then large means they should stick out the most so she can kind of step on it without jumping. And then it should become stairs, I think? Boop. There, how about that? Wow, this is great. You made a staircase for me. You'd better hurry. I don't think that water's gonna wait for you. Struggle noise. Really gotta be careful in this situation. Because you know what could happen if you fell. Ouch! Now the steam is getting in the way. It's too hot to get through. It's too hot to handle. Nani? There's no way to go around either. Think you could do something? Of course we can! I'm Missile the dog! He's right, he's Missile the dog. We learned to swim? Nah, we could get wet down there, man. I've had like 0 time to do anything of import, so I have not fixed the soundboard after that disastrous PC update that like ruined almost all of my stream settings. So I think I kind of just like do the same thing I did before to progress with Sissel, right? Is like get over to Piston, probably. And then the piston goes out. And then we get in the fire extinguisher. And then we turn that wheel, America's favorite game show. So by closing this valve, I've shut off the steam flow to that first pipe. Yeah, no, I sort of got that. So... I mean, Missile can, like... Right, that's gonna be annoying. Missile can, like, exchange pipes. Some of the pipes are not damaged. Is that the idea? Like, some of them are whole and won't, like, leak steam or something? No, they're actually all pretty gonked up, huh? I'm trying... Hey, give me a second? Here comes that water again. I wish I could drink it all up for you. No, Missile, it's too salty! What? I don't think that's the biggest problem with that idea. He's a ghost. And also, we're gonna die. Never mind. I think the more relevant point is that he's dead, so he can't drink it. Skull joke. Whatever. Do something about the steam. Leave it to me, Miss Lynn. Thanks, Missile. Look at this, if I swap the pipes, it changes how the steam comes out, huh? I get it, because the cracks in each pipe are different, right? So each pipe sprays out steam in a different way, eh? I bet that'll come in handy. It kind of looks like they're all just, like, spitting a lot of steam. I think you need to move now. And you need to... Oh, boy. Ooh, an annoying circumstance. Okay. I hope that it's not... I hope the water isn't raised in real time, because I feel like the thing I need is just like a second to figure out what all the cracks are gonna do. Okay, one of those is good. This one also seems useful. So I think both the ones on the bottom are spraying down and the top one is not able to spray steam. There, how does that look? It looks great. All that horrible steam is cleared out of the way. Okay, it's not far now. Try to move forward. Ouch! My hands and stuff. Ping! Look up there. If I could just make it to that door... Wow, you're gonna have a real heck of a time getting the leverage to open that. Unless you're the imposter nailman killer, who has, like, the power to ignore physics so that he can do leverage-defying tasks. Then we could escape! Now how in the world am I gonna get up there? Don't yell at me! If you want to yell, you can yell at me! Missile, I would never yell at you. You're a good boy. How can I yell at you when you're so sweet about it? I think you just did. Let's look for something to pull Miss Lynn up with. Yeah, something to whisk Miss Lynn up and glide her ever so gently to the top with. Wow, whisk Miss Lynn is quite a tongue twister, huh? Hey, are you being sarcastic? Trick time. Hamanama. Hamanama. So what I need... How get over? Can I reach there? I can't. I feel like I need to switch the wheels on these two contraptions so that I have enough space to, like, reach somewhere with Sissel? Is there something else that would work instead of that? Hold on a second. Oh, and he can just, like, reach further than I'm thinking. So, that being the case... Move hook. Alright, now this is what I'm talking about! Okay, raise away! I would not feel confident on either end of this interaction. It's honestly the problem that worried you most, Neko. Their deaths mean nothing. No one should let Missile drink salty water. Yeah. But, like, currently they have to make him alive again before that's really a problem. Sorry, I can't do it. Hurry, open it, hurry! Is there any way to ask me for something? It's the way we've done it all along, so, like, I'm sort of inclined to say yes. Oh, for flavor reasons, I wanted to get Missile as close as possible to the door so he wouldn't get left behind. It's no use! I can't budge it, it must be stuck. Oh no! Ah, crap. Ah, shoot. No! Nandayo? Eek! What just happened? I can't believe my eyes. Lynn and the little lady suddenly vanished, leaving only darkness and seawater. Seems like a bad time for us. The submarine continues to sink down into the deep, deep sea. Deepest, bluest, my head is like a shark's fin. But I still want to try and make my way up as far as possible. I still want to head up to find a single ray of light. So that was some sort of pun. Like to illuminate the truth at the bottom of this deep, deep darkness. Deepest, bluest, my, actually no, I guess it's deepest, blackest, my head is like a lamprey mouth? I don't know. Something like that. Anyone? No? Bueller? Okay. It's 5:10 a.m., huh? New song, Final Struggle. Isn't there? Are we all dialogue from here? I thought there was gonna be a little more. Chapter 17, 5:10 a.m. The upended submarine continued to sink, slowly but surely. A long, long journey to the bottom of the sea. Lynn and the little lady found the darkness and the saltwater closing in on them. But at the very last second, something saved them. Now it looks down at them quietly. Does that crane made of loose odds and ends have googly eyes on it? I submit that it does. My head is filled with one giant question. What is that thing? Ick! That's somehow more disconcerting. There it is. I see you managed to survive, Detective. Hey, you're a pile of loose garbage. Astute as ever. Excuse my appearance. I seem to have lost my body. Now I'm like a really big bugle with sunglasses and a googly-eyed claw hand. Oh, and you there.
Me? So can't be through the fourth wall. Everyone play it cool.
Yes? You're the ghost who's been saving Lynn all evening, aren't you? I mean... Good Sissel's kind of doing that, huh?
Guys, Senpei noticed me.
You knew about me all along? Oh, okay. Of course. What else would explain all those unnatural things happening? If you knew, how come you didn't do anything about it all this time? And how come you decided to save us all of a sudden? I thought you wanted to get revenge on us. Oopsies. I don't really know. Please, you gotta tell me. I need to know. Oh no, I became a sunglasses, like, spooky, faceless ghost. Who in the world are you? Sissel, look at you, what happened? I can't hold on to that image of myself any longer. You can't remember who you are. That's right. I came all this way tonight trying to chase down my lost memory. For quite a bit of tonight, I thought it was you, Sissel. Sissel? My name isn't Sissel. I bet you'll remember really soon who you are and who I am, too. Nani? The man in front of me is not me. I'm even further away from the truth. Or maybe not. Something is stirring in my mind. A memory is about to emerge. Maybe I'm gonna sneeze. Maybe I'm gonna sneeze. Do I know this man? Now that I've shed my image of myself, I feel like I'm one step closer to the edge. And I'm about to find the truth. Wait, that's not how Linkin Park goes. Maybe shift the pillow so she could just lie on it? Never mind. They got us good. It's all over for this submarine. This engine room is destroyed. There's a hole in the hull, and it's sinking as we speak. What are you doing here? I thought you had to deal with those people. They betrayed me. I was a fool to trust them. They already have what they wanted now. The Temsic fragment. I didn't know they had it all figured out. You mean they figured out the source of your powers? Yeah, that meteorite's radiation has two effects on living creatures. It gives power and time. If you don't mind, we'd like to hear more. Tell me about radiation. These 10 years, I've been watching that junkyard superintendent do his research, and I think I've kind of got some of it figured out. The meteorite's radiation gives spirits special powers, like possessing and manipulating objects, and in my case, swapping objects. Exactly. Apparently there are individual differences in the powers we get, and it seems like these powers change as time goes by. They do? Yeah, my powers have changed over these past 10 years. At first, I could only manipulate small living creatures. Now then, how do you suppose we got these powers? It's simple. It is? How then? In a nutshell, we died while exposed to the energy emitted by the meteorite. It's radiation. That's what does it? Dying while being exposed to the radiation? On that day 10 years ago, a fragment of that meteorite pierced my heart. I died. So of course, I received special powers. Hey, wait a minute! Is that how I got my powers too? You know, you might be right. You really have to squish that guy. Aren't the Temsic remnants still right there at that park at the bottom of the crater? You're right. So that must mean I must have died in the presence of the meteorite's radiation too. The radiation's time effect. Another effect the meteorite's radiation has on us is that it gives us time. Again, I think this time effect is centered around the theme of death, but it's not all that clear. So the fact that I can return to 4 minutes before a person's death is another effect of the meteorite? One of the characteristics of that meteorite is its ability to replay the moment of death. Replay the moment of death? It's also strange and confusing. I can't take it all in. It makes about as much sense to me as anything else. I'm a dog! Yeah, strange and confusing. That just about sums up the object that pierced my body that day. Thanks to that meteorite fragment, my very existence is a contradiction. What do you mean? Contradictory existence. That day, when the fragment pierced my heart, I lost my life. However, because it remained inside of me, that fragment continued to constantly regenerate my body. In other words, my body was continuously cycling between the moments that separated my life and death. Nani? My body's vital functions stopped 10 years ago, but my body's time is perpetually stopped at the moment just before death. Well, it was before someone yanked it with a weird claw thing and dumped it in a capsule and launched that capsule out of a submarine filled with goons. Time just stopped, huh? So I simply existed. Not really alive and not really dead, but mostly dead for the past 10 years. That pretty much sums up these 10 years for me, ever since that incident in the park. My body hasn't aged a day, my hair hasn't grown an inch. Come to think of it, that old pigeon guy mentioned something. He said he couldn't cut this guy's body with the scalpel. So I guess as soon as an incision was made, his body would be regenerated? Wow. Revenge. Before I left this country, I wanted to do one thing. I wanted to get revenge on the people who stole our lives. Our lives? As part of the deal, I made those guys promise to cooperate. Cooperate, you mean? Also, you mean the kidnapping? It all went fine. I manipulated the Justice Minister and made him issue the execution order. But I thought he might call off the execution at the last second. So that's why you wanted his daughter kidnapped? But they kidnapped the wrong girl! Little did I know. They had their own reasons for cooperating with me. Huh? You said it right that time! Their objective was to wipe out everybody who had to do with Temsic. Detective Jowd was one such person, so they were happy to cooperate. Inspector Cavanella and that junkyard super, they were slated to be wiped out too. And as it turns out, I was one of their targets as well. So they stole my Temsic fragment, and here I am. Literal pile of junk. To match my personality. But they had one more final target. Nani? You, detective. Me? One final target? I guess I want to play this game myself eventually without spoilers, but that's okay because I came into the stream mid-game and have no concept of what's going on. Yeah, I mean, also you can wait some amount of time and just forget about it. That's what I do with games I like to replay. If you weren't there in the park that day 10 years ago... Although, admittedly, Haggis, we're definitely in some spoiler territory. So, use that as you meant. But I hope you're doing well. I never would have thought of doing something as stupid as taking a hostage. Okay, but I was just a little kid playing in the park. Yeah, I know. Nani? 10 years later, and you'd become a detective looking into Jowd's case. Tonight, I invited you to a quiet spot on the edge of town. It was a trap, you see. I told you who I was. You never saw my face that day 10 years ago. So of course you didn't recognize me. I took possession of you to make you shoot me. Your subconscious resisted me. Such incredible power. It was the first time I wasn't able to control somebody completely. The aim was off, and the first shot missed the mark. The junkyard was equipped with security cameras. I knew you'd be wanted for murder. That was my plan, anyway. But they had other ideas. They simply wanted you wiped out. But then, something threw a big monkey wrench into their scheme. I showed up. I was supposed to meet up with them after that, but then something went wrong. What happened? My body disappeared. Aha! The inspector in white was responsible for that one. My precious bargaining chip was in that body. I had to get it back no matter what. That inspector caused me no end of trouble. But why were those people targeting me? I never even heard of the Temsik meteorite. Because you were looking into the Joud case. They thought you would find out about Temsik sooner or later. Kind of right about that. But also like a little bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy. And that's pretty much the whole story. The only thing left to do now is wait for the water pressure to crush this submarine. Oh no! There are no cores that link from here to the water's surface. I have an idea. We hook up the phone line and... There are no communication cables down this deep. They meant for this submarine to be my coffin. A coffin for the dead. Okay, now... that doesn't feel like a particularly, like, poetic turn of phrase when a coffin is normally a thing for the dead. Like, you basically just said coffin twice. It's like a jacket coat. You just don't need to say it 2 times. There's no escape. But what if we seeked a way out? Yeah, right, as opposed to all those coffins for the living. I think I kind of understand now. What you've been feeling these 10 years. What? This feeling, cut off from the world all alone in a submarine? Sinking slowly towards the bottom of an endless sea. This must be how you felt all along. Are we having fun yet? Lynn? Camilla! Is it true? We're stuck here? What? Oh, If my dad was here, I bet he'd save us. Oh, Camilla, I'm so sorry. That's funny. What is it, Sissel? There's something I don't understand. They go to all the trouble of detaching the control room. What? Why didn't they just steal the Temsik fragment and escape if that's what they want? Why did they have to jettison your body off into the sea? That's a good question. But I guess it doesn't matter why now. We'll never find it again. We have no idea where it was launched to. Wait a minute! Yes, we do! Huh. This will tell us where Detective Jowd is! That present from the Inspector in White, whose name we keep forgetting? Why must we always refer to him as the Inspector in White? We've, like, had psychic conversations with him and everything. That's right, Detective Jowd told me to hold onto it for him. And the bullet is still in this person's body in the command room, right? Then we should be able to tell exactly where it is with this. But even if we find out where it is, how do we get there? We should be able to figure something out between the three of us. With our powers, right, Miss Lynn? Right. Oh, and wait a minute. What about that torpedo? A torpedo. In any case, it's way too early to give up. I mean, I think it's fair to call him Inspector Carbonara, but at the same time, like, I don't know, is that the joke? Is the joke that his name is so similar to something else that you want to say that there's like, I politely call him the Inspector in White so I don't look foolish in a conversation. Looks like Detective Jowd is our last hope. Let's send R2-D2 to get his help. Come on, let's get started. Oop. I better not open this. That water could come gushing in. It's such a peaceful mood at the moment. No need to throw cold water on it. Wow, surprisingly good wordplay for a dog. Wolf joke. Well, I wouldn't go so far as to call it peace. It's been a long time. To be honest, I sort of expected Bad Sissel to help you. But that's fine. Operate control panel. Get yourself some grapes. Eh. I mean... phone? The torpedo room is where it launched from, right? I guess that's what we're looking for. We want to fire a new torpedo because it'll have an engine. The old one, we probably can't start up again, right? The torpedo room, huh? Might be another torpedo left there. I'll go check it out. Oh, I get it. You're going to use a missile to ram into the control room. Well, I don't know about ram. We don't want to blow Detective Jowd up, but something like that? We'll climb up to the torpedo room, too. Up is definitely safer. Okay, I'll see you there. Be seeing you. It's implied that a bunch of stuff happened and we all made it to the torpedo room. Looks like the torpedoes can be launched manually with these switches. That seems ridiculous, but okay. There are 2 tubes, so there should be one more left. I guess the first thing we have to do is load it into the tube. When it comes to missiles, you can count on me! Missile the dog! I'll enter the coordinates of the command room into the torpedo. Okay, hold on. So, you're telling me that, like, Detective Lynn read a book about torpedoes one time that sort of broadly mentioned how their inner workings operate. And now she has the ability to translate what I'm assuming is something akin to, at worst, a compass, at best, a Dragon Ball radar, into, like, precise coordinates from which to fire this torpedo? That feels like a little bit of a stretch, doesn't it? Especially since, like, what did she enter it into? Like, the background of the ship? And I just turned on the backup power. We ought to be able to use the switches now. Okay, let's try it. Take lock. Oh, is missile in the switch? I can't move him. I have only me. Switch? Switch won't budge. Maybe it's broken? I think the entire device is broken, though. Probably work just fine if only I could move the switch. Just have to find a way to move it somehow, but I can't do it with my powers alone. Will you let me switch to missile? Because then I can switch the switches. Seems like the answer is no for some confusing reason. What will happen to these two ladies? I think that's up to us and our powers. Nani? This is no time to be standing around unsure of ourselves. Will you lend me your strength missile? Me? Of course I will! I'm Missile the Dog! Oh, I had to talk to him before he would let me switch the switches? That felt like a needless interlude, but yeah, sure. Floop the pig! There we go, that torpedo looks serviceable. It's a normal thing. All set on this end, too. But something's odd. What is? The command room. It looks like it's slowly sinking. Sinking? Yeah, like it's completely run out of power. I wonder what happened. Could it be that it was an isolated room from a submarine that was launched into the ocean, and that's probably not, like, a great plan for longevity? I don't know, but I guess I'll find out. Right, okay. Hop into the missile. I'll launch it for you. Okay, thanks. So I assume that I want to be in one spot and Miss wants to be in the other. I've already set the torpedo's course. It'll head toward the command room where Detective Jout is. 12 seconds after launching, it'll pass by the command room for an instant. Okay. Nino Nego says, you'd be surprised how deep down a rabbit hole of knowledge people can get. And that's true to some extent, but sincerely, like, the amount of, the degree of specificity required to translate, like, compass directions into precise torpedo locations when she's never probably even been on a submarine before, like, that's a stretch to begin with. But now, you're telling me that she's done, like, NASA-style calculations to figure out precisely at what point this torpedo will pass by the location whose coordinates she entered. Okay. That instant will be our window of opportunity to jump over to the command room. Okay, got it. And then we'll find a way to come back and save you. And that'll probably be my last task tonight. Just hold on until we get back. Do I have to move Missile? Okay, come on, Missile. Missile? I'm sorry, but I can't go. Nani? I just can't. How could I leave? I can't leave Miss Lynn and Miss Camilla behind. I can't do it. Missile. I swapped the switches so the missile can be launched. You'll have to do the rest, Sissel. I can't do it either. Can't ask Missile to come with me after that. Understand exactly how he feels. Oh. I want you to go, Missile. What? But Miss Lynn! You staying here won't change our fate. But if you go with Sissel, we might be able to make something happen, and that's our only hope. But what if something doesn't happen? I'll never be able to see you again. Never, ever again. Even I could understand that, and I'm a dog. Missile the dog. I couldn't stand that. Don't worry, Missile. Miss Camilla? I just know you and Sissy can make something happen. I believe in you. I'll be right here waiting for you. We'll see each other then. Don't worry. Miss Camilla! Pew! I like that they, like, actually sped up the rate at which he, like, transported into the missile. Like, you could see the flames are burning extra fast, like, time is passing extra quickly to make it look like he... Pew! That's a good boy, Missile. Now we're going to fire you out of a torpedo. Are you ready? Remember, 12 seconds after I throw this switch. You're ready. Sissel? Yeah? We never found out who you really were. But that doesn't matter now. All I know is I'm truly glad I met you tonight. Thank you for everything. And I'm glad I met you, Detective. But we're gonna see each other again, right, Sissy? Right, Missile? That's right. We promise, little lady. Of course we will. I'll never forget you, no matter what happens. Here goes, then. Good luck, friend. Have fun storming the castle. Pew. Nick says, she didn't have to work that hard to learn all things. She just looked up the game's walkthrough and it said that happened. Oh, I see. It's like reading the script in like a Deadpool movie or something. These 12 seconds are lasting an eternity. I strive to think of a way to save Lynn and the little lady the whole time. How can a ray of light, of hope, reach this far down into the deepest, bluest sea? Before I can think of an answer, the 12 seconds are up. It's weird that Sissel was able to make that long jump he couldn't normally make, but we'll just ignore that. Detective Jowd! I bet that big masked man did this! I'm going to bite him! This is so good. What a good boy. You better not. You might break your teeth. Man Room has lost power and is sinking. I wonder what this masked man is going to do. Let's talk to Detective Jowd! Wow, wow, wow. Sorry for the wait, Detective Jowd. Who are you? Are you Sissel? Please excuse my appearance. I can't believe you made it here. How is Camilla? What about Lynn? Well, kind of a long story. I told Detective Jowd about everything that happened on the submarine, you know. So the submarine is badly damaged? Why would he do that to his own submarine? Wish I knew. I don't know who's talking. I know the answer to that. Oh. It's because he's afraid of my powers. You? You followed us? I didn't even notice. It's been 10 long years, Detective Jowd. Are you Yomael? Now he's Sissel. So, you remember me, do you? How could I possibly forget? So that's your real name, huh? Yomael? That's right. But those people on the Yanoa were calling you Sissel. That's just an alias I was using for my deal with them. I didn't see any need to tell them my real name. Could you do me a favor? Would you let me ask you some questions? I've been trying to figure out my true identity all night. Sure, go ahead. I'm sure there's plenty we can still tell you. Right, Detective Jowd? Right. About Yomael. 10 years ago. You were a top systems engineer, weren't you? Systems engineer? What's that? I'm a dog! By the way, I'm a top Pomeranian, you know. I love him so much. He's just like the best character in any game. Well, it's kind of hard to explain to a dog, but it's a person who's good at using computers. I don't know. I don't know what the thumbnail for this last installment is gonna be, but I do appreciate a good, it's kind of hard to explain to a dog. I don't mean to brag, but I was one of the best in the industry. That's how I got roped into joining that project. Project? What project? It was a project aimed at reorganizing the nation's top secret information. The goal was to build a new system using multi-dimensional programming theory. Of course, obviously. If there's ever a free emote slot, I'd recommend Missile for it. What is a free emote slot? What is that like? I don't ever see this channel hitting partners, so good luck with that. I was asked to join the project by an agent of the government. Some sort of government agent. It doesn't sound like something a top Pomeranian would know anything about. No, this is it. It has to be this one, right? It has to be Missile the dog trying to figure something out. I bet Missile would be a top animal in the weird and wonderful game Tokyo Jungle. Do I know Tokyo Jungle? That name sounds vaguely familiar. Anyway. To me, it just sounded like another challenging job. However, this project was also the target of a secret plot. Shh, secret plot. I bet you can imagine the kind of crime the nation's top secrets might attract. I never thought for the life of me I'd ever have to deal with spies. It was never made public, but every organization in the country moved on this one. And then one day, the name of a certain programmer emerged as a suspect. I was the guy who built the core of the system. The police arrested you, and then that incident happened. He escaped from the interrogation room and took little Lynn as a hostage. By the way, Detective Zhao, when was it that I was proven innocent? About 6 months after your death. I'm so sorry, Omaya. The real motive for revenge. 10 years ago. Yep. My soul split from my body and I lost everything. I was sealed in an eternal darkness of the spotless mind. I existed in this world, no question about that. But nobody noticed my presence. What good were my powers? They didn't help anybody. Not even the passage of time could heal my pain. In fact, it only made it worse. I wanted to despair, but I wasn't even allowed to do that. The way Lynn described it is exactly right. Sinking slowly towards the bottom of an endless sea. An overwhelming feeling of loneliness and despair, and I wanted all of you to suffer what I was suffering. And so that's why you murdered Alma. That's right. I wanted you to know what it was like to lose everything you cared about. I wanted you to feel the same pain I felt. What? Hurt people, and all that. This says, Tokyo Jungle is a PS3 game where you play as a species of animal in a post-apocalyptic world and have to keep your species alive as long as possible. Survival of the fittest. Main character is initially a Pomeranian, who you can, for whatever reason, dress up like a Japanese schoolgirl. While you find him food and a girlfriend. What do you mean, for whatever reason? I feel like that's the actual purpose of that game. Are you the top Pomeranian, do you think? It was the twisted wish of a mind poisoned by infinite loneliness. And then, as I was plotting my revenge, I had an idea. I came up with a plan to use these powers of mine to make a deal. The deal. There's something I don't understand about that deal. I'm sure your powers would be very valuable to them, but what would you get out of the deal? A new life. Life. I asked them for 2 conditions. Number 1 is that they help me with my revenge plot. And the second was a rebirth for me. Rebirth. A new beginning, eh? I didn't care if I was a fake life, an artificial life. I just wanted a physical receptacle for my soul. A name, an identity, an everyday life. I wanted to grow old in a society that would accept me. And finally, I wanted to die, surrounded by a loving family. That's the kind of life I asked them for. A completely man-made life. That's right. I knew I couldn't hope for anything more than that. To make it all come true, I knew it would take a lot of money and a lot of power. That's why I decided to ask a national government to help. And their response, in the end, was betrayal. I think I'd choose not to ask about the logistics of him having a family. I mean, I think the implication is that we just, like, make a bunch of, for the sake of discussion, like, wind-up robot toys to be his family. But, like, there's, like, a really uncomfortable world where he just somehow uses his body that's, like, isolated in time. I just really don't want to think about it. Betrayal! They were making their moves much more carefully than I suspected. They sent spies to this country and researched my powers on their own. And they even figured out what Temsic was all about. And you had no idea they were doing all this? None at all. I was a fool. So then, why did they go to the trouble of making a deal with you at all? Why didn't they just steal the hunk of Temsic meteorite from the park? They couldn't. Huh? After the manipulator incidents, research was conducted in this country too. A report was submitted to the government about the source of the manipulator's power. By Inspector Cabanella and the old pigeon guy. At first, the government didn't believe the report. But then they decided to put the park under surveillance just in case. Surveillance, huh? It just looks like an ordinary peaceful park, but there are armed agents there at all times. Don't tell me that odd leaflet guy is one of them. No, not him. He's just a weirdo. It says, I really enjoy that they never outright say what countries these are supposed to be. So in my mind, they're Norway and Sweden. I mean, I feel like we're all thinking it, right? Like, clearly. I mean, I'm not sure this game actually suffers the weird thing that Phoenix Wright does, where, like, when they localize the Phoenix Wright games, they like to pretend that it's Los Angeles, but then, like, there will be an entire case about, like, udon noodles, and it's like, that's not what we're doing here. But, like, yeah. I feel like there's, like, one other, like, really big movie or TV show or something that does something similar, and I can't recall what it is. Park is like a silent battlefield on an international scale. So that's why they couldn't steal the Temsec meteorite. And lately, under the pretense of building a housing site, they've been working on a plan to destroy that park in order to secure the Temsec meteorite. So that's it, eh? So the upshot of your grand deal was this, eh? Yeah, it's the ending I deserve. But at least there's one thing you must be happy about. What's that? You've managed to seal me away at the bottom of the sea forever. Well, shall we get started? Started with what? Bringing Detective Jowd back to life, of course. What? What good will that do now? But we promised! We promised Miss Lynn and Miss Camilla we'd save them! We can't do that without you, Detective Jowd. I've been guided by fate tonight to this place. I won't give up now. Alright, fine. Let's see where it leads us. Here we go, then. Back to 4 minutes before your death. Return to the past with several ghosts, now! Take it back. Everyone with the A clearly means that at least one of the countries is Canada. Yeah, I mean, I guess that would be our primary country and not the Blue Man Group country. So, where are we headed? We're not headed anywhere, Detective. What? There was only enough fuel on board to launch us away, Detective. We'll run out soon, and that'll be our destination, Detective. What are you talking about? That would mean that you're trapped here, too. Nani? By the way, I'm not human, Detective. Well, snap. I'm a remote-controlled robot, Detective. What? Your country's use of technology is just plain off. We get that a lot, Detective. Why would you go to all the trouble to do this? It's nothing but a shell then. It's hardly a threat anymore. Commander Sid likes to provide against any possibility, no matter how small, Detective. Possibility? What are you talking about? There's no need for you to know, Detective. Beep beep boop boop slap. Detective? Oh, well that's not... That's, good for the home team. Now it is time to say goodbye, Detective. And your fate remains the same, it seems, Detective. Camilla, forgive me. Yikes forever. That was a blunt one. It isn't over yet. It isn't? Remember what that
Yikes
big
forever.
masked man said? Any possibility, no matter how small. Possibility. In other words, there must be a chance here somewhere. A chance to break through our limits, or some Japanese concept. The possibility of turning this situation around. Trick time. Huh? What is it, Detective? Look at Yomael's shell. There's no aura emanating from his body. Of course there isn't. The Temsic fragment is gone. Could this change could this change in his shell give us some kind of lead? I figured it out. I know what this possibility, no matter how small, is that they're afraid of. What is it? My time was perpetually stopped thanks to the power of Temsic. His body cycled between the moments that separated life and death. I missed Cotilion's comment. Ah, bullets! My only weakness! Right, but not anymore, with the Temsic fragment gone. Exactly. So, what does that mean? I get it. Your body won't come back to life anymore. The moment the fragment was removed, my shell became a regular corpse. So let's see, that means we can go back? Back to 4 minutes before your death? But wait a minute! Exactly when is that death? It's simple. We'll find out. When we get there, let's move. I mean, I guess we could return like really, really far to the past or something. I fell back through the cracks of time for what felt like forever, and then I saw it. The final death, at the end of this long night. Who exactly am I? I've already seen all these clues. All I have to do now is remember. The final journey to the truth starts now! You weren't paying attention? What happened? So we fired ourselves out of a torpedo and got onto the ejected control room. Found out that the guy who was trapped in there with Jowd was a robot who had a machine gun to kill Jowd. We were gonna go back to 4 minutes before Jowd's death, but then we found out that with the meteor fragment removed from Bad Sissel's body, it was a corpse, and we could use ghost powers to travel back to before his death. And that's our next stop. Yeah, why don't we go ahead and save? Final chapter. Yeah, we're on pace now. Last week was the real kicker. Those were 2 bad puzzles in a row. When was Yomiel's death? It was 10 years ago when the Temsic meteor fell. We traveled back through time, and now we're here at the scene of that death. The start of it all is about to replay itself. I like that it's just like 5:26 p.m., not like 10 years ago. Oh, it's little Lynn. Precious. Hey, it's ready! Hold it. Bang. Give it up. Do you really think you can outrun me? Eek! Now just calm down and drop that weapon. Stay back. If you come any closer, I'll shoot her. Huh? Oh, a kitten. Shoot, you might get hurt. It's so wild that this happened. I have a sneaking suspicion that I'm not gonna find a soul core in the meteor. But frankly, I don't remember.
It's somewhat effective!
That's interesting. Why does he always die in that position? This poor man, no dignity for Yomael, who was falsely accused to begin with. You're all right now. Are you hurt?
You saved me, mister.
I was just doing my job. I'm the boost. The gods, they're the ones who saved you.
What's your job, mister?
Me? I'm a police detective. So that's the Temsic meteorite, eh? Yeah, you're right. It's gotta be Canada, huh? It's beautiful looking at it from this angle. It changed all our fates completely. Can't stop Temsic from falling from the sky, but we might be able to protect you from that fragment and save your life. I don't know. What's the matter, Detective Chow? To be perfectly honest, I'm scared. If that meteorite fragment doesn't get it, I'm pretty sure I would have shot it. You might not be able to change your fate of dying. I can accept that. What I did was inexcusable. No matter how the future might change, that fact will never go away. If my fate is to die here, then I accept that. This will be our last battle against fate. Beyond that will be a new future. A great big beautiful tomorrow, shining at the end of every day. Okay, let's get started! No dignity. X. Now, how are we gonna save you? If Lynn would just wander off somewhere, that would solve it. When her sweet potato is almost ready, she's not gonna budge from that spot. Is that what that's supposed to be? It definitely has looked like a plunger the entire time, as people have commented before. You know, it makes me wonder. A little girl all alone in the park listening to music and roasting a sweet potato? What country is this? What kind of childhood did this girl have? Doesn't everybody have at least one day in their life like that? Give her a break! Anyway, if Lynn won't budge from that spot, then we'll have to have the fragment move instead. I have a vague sense of what it is I'm supposed to do. Nozzle. Nozzle. Nozzle tall. I don't immediately notice anything that seems like imminently switchable, unless... No, I can't reach the other nozzle and have them, like, face contrary directions or something. So can Sissel not move until the others show up? Alright, just stay there, I guess. It's ready! Blah, blah, blah. Ah! Alright, I still don't feel like I could do anything with Missile. Can we examine the sweet potato? What in the world is this thing? Oh boy, you even forgot what a sweet potato is? It's a roasted root vegetable. It's good. There's nothing like them on a cold winter's day. They're sweet and they smell delicious! These guys are sure making me want to try one. Crank up the volume? What are you doing? You're going to hurt poor Miss Lynn's ears! I'm sorry, I wasn't thinking. You really startled her. You even made her drop her sweet potato. You know how much this girl loves her food, too. Anyway, at least her fate has been changed, albeit ever so slightly. Practice again? Wait a minute. I missed a narrow timing window, didn't I? I think I understand. I think I understand. So... hop down here. Move this egg rock. Then have Missile go into this. And then have you go there. I need control of you. So that I can... I think you gotta be in there, so that means I have to... No. I've done this wrong again. What I need to do is have... Yeah, that's where there's a delay on the spray moving it up. So I need to do the same thing I just did, but once Sissel fires this nozzle, he has to hop into the rock and then get into big nozzle. And then somewhere at that point, I have to get Missile into the rock. I'm pretty sure that's what I need to do. Bing bong. So I guess you can stay there. So rock this Casbah. Hop into the nozzle. Hit spray on that jam box. Get into there. Yeah, I think this is right. Get in there. Good, I can reach that. Okay, so then big nozzle. Oh, look at that sweet potato! That big scary sweet potato! That's no sweet potato. That's Mino! Oh, right, of course. Well, look at that, the potato and Mino. Right now, they have the same shape. So you're saying you could swap them, huh? Good idea, Missile. Okay, here I go, and I'm going to need your help. My help? Spray higher. Wait a minute. I have to spray higher first, huh? But neither of them even glanced this way. Guess that's not surprising, seeing as even a meteorite didn't distract them. It was a desperate situation, kill or be killed. And Yomiel is killed, right after this, by the meteorite. Well, now the park has a new feature. Can we use it to our advantage in any way? It's no use. I can't get any water to come out. Well, I can see why not. Yeah, the overwhelming presence of Mino there. Only we could use it to our advantage somehow. There's clearly other eggs. I want to switch to other egg. Does this discarded sweet potato do anything? How can I get these things closer? I mean, ostensibly, unless I've already missed some window where I need to do something, Sissel can't help anymore? It does seem as though I've missed something. Now, I'm just not immediately sure what it is. Poor Miss Lynn! If you're sorry, put her down! Alright, now, Miss Lynn. I was really out of my head that day. Well, we could talk about all this later. Temsic meteorite is gonna fall very soon. Before that happens, I have to think of a way to do something about it. And I'll do everything I can to help too! Kinda hoping that might give me a hint or something. Yeah, I think there's definitely something I missed in that window before swapping Mino that I need to have done. I think I just have to go back. I don't know quite what it is, but the game suggested Sissel needed to do something, and I don't think that I sufficiently did that. So, go over here. Do this. Doodly 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 doodly. You do this. Nope. You do this. Spray higher. So what? Now I'm actually second guessing something. Did I do that quicker than the game expected? And so it was saying that I just needed to launch the sweet potato in order to have it swappable because they're not close enough? I... What if I did that? Oh, look, the lamppost is bending. But it hasn't broken yet! Really is a wonder it hasn't snapped. Might just hold out for a little while longer. If I recall, the Temsic fragment smashed through the glass lantern on the way down. But if Mino sits firmly in its way... I mean, if by firmly you mean like a body falling at terminal velocity from space doesn't dislodge it from its precarious perch, then yeah, sure. Yeah, I was thinking that too. You might be able to hitch a ride on the potato when it falls again. I don't think that I had a window to gain control and, like, switch into ghost mode, though. So I tried this first, and I don't know if this actually just ends in him getting crushed. Fate could change! Trick time. Is there more to do in theory? I feel like no, right? Like, I think I just let the clock run out? Am I wrong? mean, I guess I could, I wonder. No, can't reach it again once it's bent out of shape. Alright, that reduces the number of possible things to do after the fact. Let's run it out. It's about time for that meteorite to come down. Don't worry, Missile. I think we're ready for it. Look what's right in the fragment's path. Oh, okay, that giant sweet potato. If anything can get in the way, it's that ugly monster. Ouch. Do I identify as a giant pine cone beast? Anyway, now the fragment's path ought to change. Is it gonna happen? Donk. There, how's that? Look, the fragment's course. It changed a little. Now Yomael's fate should really change. Wait a minute. Take another look at that fragment's trajectory. Now that it's changed, what's in its path? In its path? No! Oof. Ugh. Detective Jowd! The Temsic fragment shot through his leg! What? The cruel twists of fate weren't over yet. Come on, put it down. Huh? Jowd, put the gun down now! If you don't, you're gonna shoot him! Or maybe even worse. I don't know if it's his detective training or what, but even though he's shaking from the pain, the gun doesn't waver. Put the gun down! No! I knew it. This is my true fate. In the end, I stole his life away with my own hands. I won't let that happen! Missile! The bullet is stopped in midair? I'm here inside the bullet! Now let's swap it with something! What? With what? Detective Zhao, the meteorite fragment is what made you pull the trigger. We won't let you become a murderer. We have to prove that the murder isn't the detective's true fate. And to do that, we have to stop this bullet. There must be something with the same shape as this bullet around here. I mean, it's hard to know what shape it is. The sweet potato, though? Boom. Oh my god! Oh no, we stopped the bullet, but we still couldn't save him. That's by sweet potato. No, that's not true. My fate of getting pierced through the back might not have changed, but I'm still alive. What? I'm not dead. I'm just unconscious. Okay, so your fate of death has changed, but still, this fate is too painful to watch in every sense. I don't think so. As long as I'm alive, that's good enough for me. But we were overlooking one thing. The wheel of fate was still slowly turning. This is so insane. Wake up. You gotta get out of there. Ugh, my leg, it won't work. It's all over. We're out of time. Miss Lynn! It's not over yet. But there isn't anything else to swap with. Why don't we just let it play out and then try to find another way next time? Even if she dies, all you'll have to do is possess her corpse. And then you can redo the last 4 minutes as many times as it takes. No, I won't do that. Why not? Sure, the fact of her death would be erased, but her memory of it would remain like a scar on her psyche. I won't let that happen, not if I can help it. But what can we do now? Even if we work together? I think there might be something that can be done. What is it? What can Sissel and I do? Don't forget, I'm here too. With 3 kinds of powers among us, we ought to be able to fight this battle. This battle against the fate of death.
Yomael.
Sissel, your power is manipulating objects. Use your power to manipulate this. Huh? I don't get it. Just trust me. Let's go. Alright, I'll try to move there. Bing bong. Now, gather your strength and make it spray as if your life depended on it. I'm dead though. Skull joke. In that case, make it spray as if your death depended on it. Give it your all. And remember, you'll only have a split second. Now, do it! Got it. Now it's your turn, Missile. What? Me? But what can I do? I think you know the answer to that. Okay, got it. You can swap them! That hunk of concrete will go back to its original position. But, even if I swap them, it still might be right above Miss Lynn. Don't worry. Okay, I'll do it. I'll swap them. Bonk. It's no use. We can't stop that horrible Mino. What can we do now? I don't see how gaining a second or 2 helped. Oh, it helped all right. Those few seconds were exactly what I needed. Last up, it's my turn. Your turn? You know what my power is, right? I can manipulate living creatures. Wait a minute. You mean... That's right. I'm going to save that little girl. Save her by manipulating my own unconscious body. Heave! Ugh. That's rough, buddy. Ye gods. Ah, you're awake. This fellow's having a bad day. I mean, it's kind of been like a bad 10 years. We just kind of made it worse. But like at the same time, I don't know. The way he described having to make it to the present by enduring those 10 years, I think he really did choose this for himself. After seeing all these people as real people, I think he's like, I'd rather not become the villain of my own story and endure all that suffering in the process. I'd rather just, like, help all these people who I believe in. But, like, yeah, I mean, he's maybe not totally crushed, but the whole legs and or spine thing might be an issue. Hey, mister, is your knee okay? It'll be fine. Just a scratch. I'm lucky it wasn't a fatal hit, but the main thing is that you're not hurt. You saved me, mister. I was just doing my job. Also, it was several ghosts in a trench coat that did that. The gods, they're the ones who saved you. What's your job, mister? Me? I'm a police detective. Wow, yikes forever. Rip that guy. Lol, Lamau. Do you think you could go call the police for me? I think you could do it quicker than I could. But...
Yikes forever.
What's that? This is a detective's badge. We give them to children who've been very brave. Like Sean Mars. Exactly. A detective's badge? Thanks. Okay. You know what to do, little detective. I'd really like to see his police report on this one.
She's even stronger than my mom.
Whoa. Are you alive? Yeah, sadly. Hang on, help is coming. What made you do such a reckless thing? To be perfectly honest, I don't really know. When I came to, my body was already moving all by itself. It was as if somebody else was controlling me. I see. But you know.
Oh no, I'm making him horny.
Who? You know, I'm glad it happened.
Hey, mister. I found this kitten. It was over there.
Come to think of it, I just saw it a few minutes ago. It's probably a stray.
It's kind of limp. Is it okay?
I don't know. I think it's unconscious. It's funny. It doesn't look like it's injured or anything.
Poor little kitty.
What if I take it to my house and look after it? Would you like to come home with me, little kitten? Well, you just said it was unconscious, so... The mascot making Mino horny? Well, looks like his fate just changed in a big way. Whose fate? Little kittens, of course. Sissel's. Sissel? The name Sissel echoes in my head. That's my real name. These long, lonely 10 years, you were my one and only friend. How about it? Do you remember now? Old friend. Sissel the cat! Sissel the cat! I think I finally remember. 10 years ago, I was a little kitten that wandered into this park. I was weak and all alone in the world. Such a sad cat. It's like, hey, I need a friend. Would one of you help me? Huh? Oh, a kitten. Kitten was like, oh, I'm so sorry for this man whose butt is always in the air. Somebody please, reach a hand out to me. I had just only died at that time. I had lost everything. My life, my memory. My body wouldn't move anymore, but I still managed to reach out a hand to him. The next thing I knew, my soul had transferred into the black kitten. With no recollection of who I was, I lived as a cat with you for a while. After a while, the man regained his memory and went back to being just a cat, and then the man got his body back. I took my body back from the morgue. There was somebody I just had to go see. Just one more time. That's such a great point, Ditto. The protagonist being a cat makes so much sense since his power of manipulating objects is largely just knocking stuff off desks by battering at things. They do such a good job of, like, teasing it, like, along the way. Of, like, you can't read and you don't know, like, certain basic things about being a human. Like, some of it, like, the specifics of being a torpedo, or of, like, the inner workings of a torpedo, like, makes sense for, like, a person not to know. But, like, some of it's kind of weird. And then there's even, like, occasionally times where, like, the word choice is, like, very animalistic for some reason. And, like, no one ever stops to think about it, because there's still kind of, like, expressions that people would use. But, for example, when the submarine starts sinking, and it's like it reared up on its hind legs. It's like, that's a weird thing to say. But, like, the fact that, like, you meet another animal that also can use powers of the dead, but, like, interact with people through the power of its mind. So, like, you know that an animal spirit can work this way. Like, they just set it up so well. It's such a good twist. I took control of my body and hurried to her house. But I was just a little too late. I had just missed her as she left this world. She left me a note that said, "I'm coming to see you, Yomael." The man named me Sissel. It was the name of something important he had lost, along with his fate. His fiancée. He told me about it once, but I didn't understand what it was. Yeah. Those 10 years were very happy for me, but they weren't happy for the man. And there was nothing I could do for him, because I was a cat. For 10 years, I wandered through the darkness with no particular place to go. As time passed, my powers gradually changed. At first, I could only manipulate small creatures and objects. But then, after a while, I could manipulate people. That's when the darkness inside of me deepened, and I started to get a little twisted. Well, that was his first mistake. You should never get it twisted. I wanted light. Distorted, artificial light. When I got my revenge on Lynn, I would see that light, or at least that's what I tried to believe. I left my old self buried in that junkyard and walked away. The Black Cat. I was possessing Sissel then. It wouldn't look very much like a murder if the corpse got up and walked away after all. So, you borrowed the body of your old friend. Sissel was inside that bag I was carrying tonight. I had no intention of leaving my friend behind in this country when I left. But then, when I went to possess his body, I realized something horrible. What was that? Sissel, there inside the bag, was dead. Nani? When she used her force of will to make the first shot miss, it didn't go that far off target. And I wasn't able to control her completely. The first bullet didn't hit anything. Or so I thought. But it did hit something, didn't it? It hit Sissel inside that bag. Yes, that's when I lost my life. Right there, in the presence of the Temsic radiation. I really like the effect of the ghost, like, igniting that way. And that's when I got my powers of the dead. My ghost tricks. Schrodinger's bag and Chekhov's cat. It's quite... I mean, Uchikoshi would be proud, really. I think I understand Meow. Why, I was the only one who couldn't get his memory back. It was because I thought that corpse was me. It was the only corpse I could see at the time, after all. But as it turns out, it wasn't the only dead body. My true death was hiding just behind that corpse. Now that I think about it, do you remember what you said? That you knew all along about me saving Lynn tonight? If you knew, why didn't you try to stop me? It's simple. Because I couldn't. Even if I wanted to. Why not? Remember, the thing about individual differences in the powers we get? I can control all kinds of things, from the living to the dead. But even so, there are some things that you can do that I can't. You mean... I can't even rewind time, let alone change the fate of a death. If I could do those things, I would have saved your life. Aw, so sweet. Not only that, but I never would have just let my fiancé stay dead like that. But you're here 10 years in the past now. That's thanks to your powers. I just tagged along with you. In any case, now the starting point of this entire tragedy has changed dramatically, altering fate. The fate of your death, the kitten Sissel's fate, and I can just bet you the fate of the woman you love has changed too. Yeah, I believe you're right. So, this was the last fate to be averted, eh? Fate averted! Totally weird, but I'll take it. So, Yomaya, looks like your plan for revenge ended in failure, idiot. Yes, and I'm glad, too. I think I kind of understand now. What you've been going through these 10 years. She understood. She shed tears for me. That's when my revenge was over. She saved me from the darkness. Well, I guess it's time we got back. A new 10 years later was just born. Right, we should get back to our new present, which we won't recognize or have memories of. This is gonna get real confusing. And I can't wait to see Miss Lynn and Miss Camilla again! So these past 10 years will now all vanish. Sounds like the end of a Shakespeare play. Well, not completely. The memories of all of us here will remain, including the memory of what I did, my crime. That's the way this game of the dead works, eh? And no matter what the reason, there's no denying the fact that I took Lynn hostage and tried to point a gun at her. And I have no intention of running away from that either. The most inexcusable crime in my new life. Neko says, I bet he's glad he isn't in America, where he'd wish he died instead of bankrupting his whole family line due to medical costs. The joke is funny because it's true and very, very sad. Hey, sis. Yes? When we go back, our fates will no longer be interconnected. It will be like we never met. So before that happens, I just wanted to say one thing. Tonight, I stole away your life with my own hands. I'm truly sorry. Yeah. That's already a thing of the lost past. Our fates have changed now, right, Yomael? Thank you, Sissel. I'm so very glad that I met you. Me too, Yomael. Sissel, are we ever gonna see each other again? I couldn't stand it if we were. Don't worry, Missile. I bet we'll see each other again someday. 10 years from now, our paths are sure to cross. We'll just have to wait until then. Sissel, I'll never forget you! I'll never forget you either, valiant little doggy. Well, looks like you come to live with me now. So let's be getting home, little black cat. Home, huh? That sounds good, Detective Jowd. Yeah. Consensus, wait, that's not how a joke should be. No, that's how that joke works. I promise. We all witnessed the birth of a new beginning, and now we're each going back to our own new present. We said goodbye to the parts of our stories that would be lost, believing that someday our paths would all cross again. Wait! I don't know who that was. I think I might remember who this is. I know that there's one question left to answer, and I know that the game answers it. So I'm going to operate under the assumption that that's where we're headed next. Haga says, all in all, the saddest thing in this is how short animals live. Like, those homies are going to be elderly. Nah, I mean, yeah, ghost powers or something. It's gonna be fine. Don't think about it. Before you go back to a new present, I wanted to thank you. Yes, it is I, Ray, the Ghostland. Before I cease to exist. Oh, it's you! Yes, it is I, Ray, in case you have forgotten again. Thanks to you, everything has turned out as I had hoped. I am really grateful to you, Sissel. Thank you. Yeah. But don't forget, I was on a journey to find my own lost memory. Yes, I know that. I know all about you. Can I ask you a question, Ray? I want to know. Who exactly are you? Fair enough. I will tell you. Let me tell you about another version of tonight's events. This game rules. You changed the fates of many people tonight. The first of which was hers. Bonk! Absolute bonk! And the rat you ate before you were killed. It's as good a guess as any at this point. If you had not been there for her tonight, her fate would have been to die in that lonely spot on the outskirts of town. If that had occurred, what do you suppose would have happened? Let me tell you a story. The story of a little creature. After they stole her life that night, they broke into her apartment. We really gotta kill that Blue Man group. I mean, I guess technically we made it so Missile just never died in the first place. They stole the wooden box from the ceiling hiding place and left. How did they know it was there? Where did they get that information from? And in the process, two little dead bodies were left behind. However, the little fellow's spirit lived on. He desperately reached out his paw toward his mistress, and that's when a miracle occurred. What? Look at that! The powers of the dead, but how? He didn't really understand it himself, not yet anyway. But, with all you know now, I bet you understand it, do you not? Hey, wait a minute! If Sissel was there... Ghost radiation. That's right. He died inside the aura of that strange energy. Of course, amber was the color of that energy. But unfortunately, with his meager powers, he was unable to save his little mistress. There just wasn't anything he could do with only the power to swap objects. He needed the power to manipulate objects in order to save the little lady. The little fellow chased after the men, but there still wasn't anything he could do. In the end, he was left behind with the man in the red in the deep, deep sea. And then... he went back. He went back to the world of 10 years before, to the moment of the man in red's death. What? Nani? He decided to wait it out. He decided to wait until that night came again. God, it's like that thing from Doctor Who with the Centurion. And that's the other version of the story of this night. A story that has taken these 10 years to be retold. So that was you, huh? Oh, it's so sad. That's right. I'm Missile. 10 years is a very long time in dog years. You couldn't change the fates of these people on your own, so you decided to wait those 10 years out.
Squeak, squeak.
Exactly. And then, at last, that fateful night rolled around again. The second time this story still gives me chills. I really like this game. By this time, I had grown old, and my powers were weak. So I decided I needed to find somebody to help me this time around. Blink. Somebody who possessed different powers than me. But wait a second. You were able to manipulate that desk lamp. Over the course of the long years, my powers changed. My ability to swap objects weakened, but I became able to manipulate small objects. But in that case, why didn't you cooperate with yourself? Because I couldn't. Nani? From watching The Man in Red, I found out there were individual differences in our powers. I couldn't do any of the things he could do. Like travel through the telephone lines, for example. Nani? It may not seem like much, but it's a very important power. Especially if you're trying to chase somebody. But there's something I don't understand. You knew from the very beginning that I had that power. How did you know so much about me? Why wouldn't I? After all, we had met before on that night the first time around. We what? We met before? From listening to the conversation of the two intruders to the apartment, I learned that Miss Lynn had lost her life at that junkyard on the edge of town. I followed the Ghost World paths to the junkyard and came upon an incredible scene. Dancing lamb. Imagine, if you will, there in the darkness, a twisting and swiveling desk lamp. It made my fur stand on end, I could tell you. That was me? So I was shot on that night the first time around as well. You had lost your memory that time too. You had just died and you had felt confused. You declined to cooperate with me. I did what? I just want to find my own lost memory. I'm sorry, but I can't help you. That's what you said. Yeah. And then you disappeared, away over the telephone line. I'm really sorry I didn't help you. That's why I decided that this time, I would use that desire of yours to our mutual advantage. Mutual advantage? The only thing you were interested in was finding your own lost memory. If I could guide you along the right path to doing that, we would both benefit. And namely, the right path would be the path to the Man in Red, to Yomaya. What? I gave you the information you needed to know to set you in the right direction. And then I gave you a time limit. A time limit? That's right. As you know, I said, you only had until tomorrow morning. If I hadn't done that, you wouldn't have found out the truth tonight. and the man in red would have been sealed away at the bottom of the sea forever. If that had happened, it would have been all over.
Then you mean that thing about ceasing to exist?
Oh, that? I completely made it up. A little naughty of me, I know. I'm Missile the dog, after all.
But I mean, at this point, you kind of have to extrapolate that, right? I mean, Missile just told us that he remained as a ghost for 10 years, even without the benefit of a Temsic meteorite fragment, like rejuvenating his body or whatever. Meowtual advantage. Lol, Mrs. Ditto.
But I wanted you to use your time wisely.
Oh boy. I hate to admit it, but this little doggy really outsmarted me in every way.
Let's just call it the wisdom that comes with age. And now it's time to say farewell. These past 10 years will cease to exist, and with them, so will I.
Missile.
I believed in you. I always knew you could do it. And so you did. Thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Missile. So you waited and waited these 10 long years, all for the sake of your two ladies, Lynn and Camilla, eh? Speaking of Futurama, from hours ago, anyone ever seen the episode Jurassic Bark?
Of course. Because that's what doggies do! Now then, farewell, Sissel.
And so the story of a single night came to an end. Nobody but us knew what had really happened that night. I made my way back to a new present. Huh? How come it's dark? I'll just turn on the lights here. Oh, it's her. I didn't know who that was. Wait a minute. Are we sure we want to do this? Pew! Nonny? It's Sissel the cat! Were you surprised? You bet I was. You nearly scared me to death! Not that I've died several times in this timeline. Yippee, it worked! But it's not even my birthday today. It was my mom's birthday the day before yesterday. I made this surprise for her, but it came out so well I wanted to use it again. That's alright, Lynn. After all, we're celebrating the birth of your new position as detective, right? Really? Thank you, Detective Jowd. Dad, you're home! Hi, Camilla. Let me introduce you. This is Lynn. She was just assigned to the detective division today. Hi, Camilla. It's nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too, Lynn. Congratulations on becoming a detective. Huh? Is something wrong? You have one of those badges too. Oh, this? Yeah. I have one just like it. My dad gave it to me the other day. But yours looks a lot older than mine. How long are you gonna keep wearing that toy badge, Lynn? What's wrong with it? To me, this is a symbol of a real detective. It's been 10 years since then, hasn't it? Who would have guessed you'd actually become a detective one day? When you gave me this badge, I just knew. I knew it was my destiny somehow. Density, eh? And now that I'm a detective, I'll find out where that destiny will lead me. That you will. That you will. Yeah, I'm a cat. Oh, hello. Don't tell me you're that same little kitten. That's right, the very one. You know what? This is a very, very special cat.
He's 10 years old, but he's still a kitten. Still a kitten? Yup, he never got any bigger or anything. Wow, what a mysterious little kitten. I know, right? His name is Sissel. Sissel? It seems to me that I've heard that name somewhere before. Meow, I'm a cat. I think Sissel likes you, Lynn. All right, everyone, let's start the celebration. Okay, Mom. I bet you're just like me. Your destiny led you here somehow, too. And so we meet again, Sissel. From just that single night as a human, I got a glimpse into their world, and I learned something. Their fates, their lives, they were all interconnected. Somewhere, somehow, in some way. And now, this is my meow fate. I guess I really am a cat. It suits me just fine to curl up and watch. Watch the strange and beautiful patterns as they live their lives. And it also looks like I'll have plenty to watch here for quite a while. Dun, 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 dun. I don't remember if there's... Okay. There we go. Drumroll?
Happy birthday to our lovely Lynn!
Like I said, it isn't my birthday. Hey, Missile, I thought I asked you to stay home and guard the fort.
The birthdays are for celebrating together with friends and loved ones. Nothing like it, baby!
Oh my god, look at Cavanella eat that spaghetti. That's unreal. Given the amount of food they just ate, they might be going to the afterlife soon. Nah, it'll be fine. Something goes... Powers of the dead. Ghost tricks, you know. There, how do you like that? Not too bad, huh? But definitely not good. Maybe now I could be a great detective, just like Inspector Cavanella. What kind of example is the inspector providing for his men? Disappointed at the missed opportunity to give him carbonara. If I remember correctly, I think his name is slightly different in Japanese, so like I'm not totally sure if the pun is intended or if it's just really similar. I don't remember her voice. Here's your food, gentlemen. And there's Guile in the background.
Memory, what are you doing here?
I heard you were gonna be picking new members for the Special Investigation Unit. So you took a part-time job here again, just so you could something. Dialogue is advancing itself. You have no idea the lengths I go to reach my goals. I don't know why I decided to like workshop the Long Island accent during this game. I'm not good at it. What's happening with his legs? That's just what that character does. It's unsettling and unpleasant. La la la, I never cooked this way before. So exotic, so exciting! Turmeric, coriander, cumin, and fenugreek. Is this really necessary, the new curried chicken menu item? But our very best customer requested it. Now good luck with the taste. Why isn't he wearing socks and shoes? Like, just don't think about it. Oh boy, I don't think I could eat another bite. Who is this very best customer anyway? Is it Lynn? Oh no, it's that guy. It's everyone's favorite Nightmare Man. That guy definitely looks like he ate a devil fruit from One Piece. That's a semi-automated Lazy Susan. What would you call that? What's like a half-lazy thing? Like a lethargic Susan? A lethargic Susie? Not to worry, Beauty, my dear. I followed the instructions exactly. 20 kilograms of gunpowder, just like it said. I missed her part, but I think she was basically like, it's fine if you do this, right? Just as long as you don't blow us up, I'm pretty sure it's fine. Wait a minute, 20 kilograms? I thought it was 20 grams. Why was there an enormous safe of money on top of the chicken restaurant? Why is his head so floppy? Yeah, 20 kilograms of gunpowder is definitely a lot. Reluctant Susie. So this is where you work, huh, Papa? That's right, sweetheart. Darling husband, don't you have any ideas you could give me? You must have heard some juicy stories, the indiscretions of a minister, perhaps? Now, you must talk that... I'm trying to grab his voice from my mind, but the text is advancing too quickly. I'm still not sure that the people who made this game understand how chickens work on a biological aspect, because there's always just one bone left behind, and I'm just pretty sure that's wrong.
This deal is going quite well. Oh, I must say, these grapes are quite good.
The Noah is about to scrape the bottom of the sea, sir. Be forewarned, sir.
Egad! Keep it together, man. Are you trying to give me a case of the vapors? I believe I nearly died of fright just now. The peace and pigeons! Long live rock and roll!
Pigeon party! Perhaps one of these will be a hatoful boyfriend.
Stop the park from charging admission. Protect the rights of those who live here.
The rights of those who live in the... I don't think that's... I don't... It's actually impossible to completely debone a chicken without cutting it. You have a cookbook that gives detailed instructions. That sounds like a serial killer book, but sure, why not? Today's the day, you know? He's finally getting out. You know, everybody's starting to get real tired of seeing you do that. Then let me show you a new dance that's been passed down in our family for generations. We do this when we have a stomachache, boy. We call it Dance Away the Pain. Oh, I'm real interested in that one. Think you could show me something? You got it. Now I'm going triple time, boy. And long years, Yomael, your time's up today. The young lady who always comes to visit you is waiting outside. Didn't this prison only get built because of secrets? Thank you, Sissel. The secrets that didn't get disclosed in the end? Why does that prison even exist? Oh, that's cute. You painted the cat. Meow, I'm a cat. Damn. And then the remaster credits, I presume. I wonder if anything interesting happens during these. Yeah, this game is great. The story of this game is so good that it literally gave me chills the second time. That doesn't happen very often. I do wish that we established that Missile also got immortality, but I think we can all assume that just happened somehow. Like, right? Like, we all just know that happened. So that Sissel and Missile can, like, be buddy cops forever. Wanted to go to bed hours ago, but you had to see the end. You really did have to see the end. The ending of this game is so good. What's actually funny, because I didn't think about this back in the day, is, like, in a sense, the ending actually is kind of anticlimactic. Because you don't have, like, some big boss battle style thing. You just do, like, kind of like a maybe slightly above average difficulty, like, ghost trick puzzle. But, like, I think this game recognizes really well that the climax isn't, like, action in a traditional sense. It's, like, the discovery of those last secrets that they kept so well hidden the entire game. And I think it's really gripping to, like, to figure out who Sissel was the whole time, and then to get the second perspective from, like, Sentinel Missile. I don't know, it's just such a compelling story, so effectively told. And, like, yeah, there's a couple puzzles in the middle there that aren't my favorite, but, like, it's such a great game. It's such a good game. Like, as someone who's always motivated to be playing, like, story-driven games on his stream, you know that almost always I come away from a game being like, this story kind of sucked in the end. Like, some part of it just, like, didn't tie together. But, like, Ghost Trick is perfect. Yeah, at least we have confirmed that Sissel is immortal. And then, yeah, I was thinking the same thing. If Missile ever dies around Sissel, then, like, yeah, it's, like, Ghost Friend forever. Aw, now you can have a Sissel the Cat background. What a good game. I really like Ghost Trick. I do apologize for letting the negative energy of my life get into last week's installment a little bit, but, like, I knew I had to power through, because I absolutely love this game. It's so rare that a twist as, like, significant as the identity of the protagonist is carried out as well as this game does it. And then, like, on top of that, they have the audacity to, like, tell this excellent story that, like, smooths over some of the weird, like, time travel wonkiness. Like, it's just absolutely great. I did notice that you called that Neko, and I was really impressed. Didn't expect the time travel, though, because you thought it was too late to return to Yomayo's death. Yeah, I mean, like, that's the thing, though, right? Like, I actually really appreciate that perspective from you, because it's like, even though you suspected that, like, it doesn't take away from, like, the drama of that conclusion, right? Like, sometimes this is a thing that, like, you hear about from writers sometimes. You know, like, I feel like there was some talk about that with George R.R. Martin and, like, the HBO adaptation of, like, Game of Thrones, where, like, he expressed frustration that people, like, figured out the twist with one of the characters', like, sort of backstory, and then they, like, changed some things in the adaptation so that, like, people wouldn't guess it. But it's like, if the story is told well, then, like, the fact that people can put together the clues to guess the thing doesn't take away from the enjoyment of the story. Having it spoiled for someone who maybe wouldn't have put that together and would have, like, been surprised pleasantly by the storytelling, like, that might be spoiled, but that's separate. Like, if you tell the story well, and you put clues in there to indicate what's going to happen, then you've done your job as a writer. One of the things that most frustrates me is when people do that. And let me tell you, spoiler alert, do you know who fits this description? Uchikoshi, the guy who made the Zero Escape games. And we'll talk about that more later someday. But for now, let me just say that just make a good story. Like, clearly the people who made Ghost Trick, like, thought through everything. I'm sure if you really think about it, there's some, like, minor plot holes somewhere about the minutia of some of the Ghost Tricks or something or whatever. But, like, on the whole, everything is really addressed. And, like, I don't think you can ask for more from this game. This is such a great example of a visual novel. It's not, like, absurdly long like Nirvana Initiative is, which we played on this stream, and outlives its welcome by a decent amount. The story is great, so it's not like Nirvana Initiative. Look, I'm not just gonna compare this to a bunch of games, but like, it's just a full package. It's a top-notch example of what a visual novel can be. And it's a little disappointing that there aren't more games like this. I can understand them not doing a sequel to this, but, like, I feel like you could do something similar to this, and it would still be great today. And, in fact, this game is still great today. But I'm glad that people appreciated the story. I know that some people, like, really wanted to see this game. I don't know how many of them actually knew about the game. I know at least some did and some didn't, but, like, this is a game that I've wanted to replay ever since they talked about porting it to the Switch. Like, when that was first announced a while ago, I put it on a short list that I keep of games that I want to play on stream. I was pleasantly surprised when other people expressed interest. But it wasn't originally going to be my pick for a Halloween thing until a couple people pushed for it. So, I'm glad we did that. Good mystery story lets the audience piece things together. I hate it when the clues are all red hair. Yeah, I completely agree, Neko. I mean, like, I can sometimes enjoy a story like that, but at the end of the day, I would say something that just, like, makes up something at the end, like, isn't a good mystery. Because a mystery has some chance of you putting it together. It's not necessary that everyone does. It can still be surprising to someone who doesn't notice something subtle. Like, that's totally fine. But, like, if there's no way to solve it without, like, a red herring or, like, a Hail Mary clue at the end or whatever, like, not a mystery. It's just, like, a weird story with an inexplicable component to it. Because, yeah, like, think of any time that there's been, like, a mystery, even, like, a twist ending. Like, if it's done well, you can watch it again and then appreciate the nuance of what you didn't the first time. It's only if you're not capable of making a good story in the first place that you have to worry about that sort of thing. And I know from experience that writers are deeply insecure at their core, so I understand that impulse from experience, but it's because of Uchikoshi things. That's something that's really resonated strong with me in the past, like, 10 years. Anyway, let's not harp on it. I do think this game is great. I'm glad you people enjoyed it. Thank you for joining me on this journey. There's one final thing to do before we conclude the stream, though. Because, as always, I've hidden a Squirtle somewhere on the couch behind me. There is a critical mass of density of critters, but I think you can still largely identify them. And if you're able to indicate to me the friend who conceals our secret Squirtle and locate said secret Squirtle, well, then it will be an omen of good luck for you in the coming days, as we await a new Halloween game to start next Friday. Yeah, the director is the same person who worked on Ace Attorney. And in fact, Phoenix Wright and whatever Payne's first name Payne are supposed to be the, like, blue-colored detective and the green-colored detective. Like, they're just clearly, like, lifted straight from Ace Attorney. And in addition, the character Missile does technically appear in Phoenix Wright canonically. I think I mentioned that earlier, because that's a great fun fact. But, like, no joke, Missile is, like, genuinely one of my favorite fictional characters. It's like, he so perfectly embodies everything about a dog given a voice. And I know plenty of things have been like a story about a dog who can talk or whatever. But like, I don't know, Missile just gets it, but he also has that like really heroic protector dog thing going. He's just perfect. I feel like saying Missile is a very good boy is like a gross understatement. He's just like perfection incarnate. Alright, let's gather some guesses. Feel free to hit me with one if you have one. Under Pirate Eevee, under Pumpkin Bat, Squidbeard. Good guesses all around. Let's find that Squirtle. So let's see. Under Pirate Eevee, that's a little tricky. Pirate Eevee is currently sitting on top of the big sleeping Eevee that is extremely structurally integral to half of what's going on. But I will take this opportunity that right in front of where Pirate Eevee sat, and behind Kaylee the crab friend, I hid this bat that I got many years ago from my friend Top. Our pumpkin bat friend. I worry about... So under our pumpkin bat is Brown Bear. Big Brown Bear. Who's also kind of holding up some stuff, as you may have noticed, as the contents of the couch shifted. But it's also worth noting that Pumpkin Bat is the container. And hiding inside that Pumpkin Bat is our friendly porcupine Hans. Of course, it's not a squirrel, but it's worth pointing out that he was in there the whole time, and you might not even have noticed. Squidbeard. Someone had guessed Squidbeard. Squidbeard always seems to be gnawing on something, and this time, it's not a Squirtle, but it's kind of close. It's our grumpy Ninja Turtle friend, Donatello. So that leaves us with one unsolved mystery for the evening. And that is, where is the secret Squirtle? Well, in case you missed it yesterday, when this new friend debuted, our Pumpkin Bat isn't the only new Squishmallow friend who contains multitudes. Our new spider happens to be concealing the secret Squirtle. It had been a long time since you were ninja, eh, Ditto? I love all my feetsy friends. I like the Squishmallows that have feet. I'm sure you've noticed this. And you did find the bat twice in a row, Neko. Most impressive. Yeah, thank you so much for watching Ghost Trick and for being okay playing Ghost Trick as a Halloween game. I know it's not like a tonally spooky game. I mean, people die in it, but you always save them. And it's really more of like a puzzle thing. I mean, there's a mystery to it, but there's like mysteries in the vast majority of the games that we play on the channel. But I'm glad that the ghosts and their tricks were enough for the Hallows Eve. Like I said, I think next week we're going to start... I think my plan is to just start playing Darkside Detective 2 Fumble in the Dark. And I think we're just going to run with that. Rather than trying to alternate games, because I don't really know how long stuff is going to take, I think we're just going to play through Darkside Detective until we finish it, and then figure out how much time is left in October in our Halloween schedule and sort out what goes there. So thanks everybody for watching. Thank you for being here. Thanks for being you, and I hope to see you again soon. Whether that be for the Darkside Detective, the continuation of a game we played last year and had a lot of fun with, and also some amount of frustration, mostly involving saving Santa from a shopping mall. Or if it's sometime beyond then, when we move past our spooky programming and return to Raincoat, among other things. Remember to take care of yourselves, and that you are colossal.